All right. Welcome to the Airport Road podcast presented by Tonique Media and sponsored by Habit Apparel. My name is Kate Guerra. I'm here and I'm joined with political writer Stepan Gavreau and co-host Anthony Adler, Jordan Alona. I think I messed that up, but okay. It's whatever.
Yes, you did, but that's fine.
Jordan Adler.
You got the gist. You got them all out.
Okay. Well, thank you for tuning in for episode 11, I think. So now we're in double digits. As you can see, our video quality is garbage, but that's okay. It's cool, you know. We're just doing our thing. Technology is hard these days. So let's talk about some topics like we normally do. I got some good topics. I'll start off. So if you guys seen that the Billboard top 200 has come out with its list of artists. So let me read you off the list.
Did you say the top 200? When did it become the top 200? Is that new?
My bad. Top 100. That's not good. Top 100.
No, I wasn't trying to be an asshole. I was genuinely curious. I thought that was a new thing. I was going to say, that's cool. It's a shit ton of people.
So the top 10 artists are going to be number one, AJ Boy Post Malone.
Yeah?
Yeah, you made it, number one. And then
let's go.
Follow is The Weeknd, Roddy Ricch, who I've never heard of before, The Baby, which I've never heard his music before. Well, I mean, I have, but I don't really like it. My Guy, Drake, is at number 5. You got Juice WRLD, who passed away this year, I believe. Little Baby, not to be confused with The Baby.
The Baby.
or Bad Baby. Do you know who that is?
Yeah. Wasn't that the girl from she was the what was that? Dr. Phil, right?
Yeah, the Catch Me Outside.
Catch Me
girl.
Outside.
Yeah.
How about that?
Dude, she banked off of that, to be honest.
That's
under being a piece of shit.
Under the category of any publicity is good publicity.
I guess so. Roddy Ricch too. He's the guy that sings that song that goes eat-er.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
What song is that called? Or what's that called?
The Box.
The Box.
Yeah,
but I know no other songs other than that guy.
Number 8 is Harry Styles, which he had that one song that came out and it's on the radio stations all the time. AJ, you might have heard of it.
What is it? Watermelon something?
Sugar.
Yeah.
Watermelon sugar. Yeah. Do you guys know what that means?
Is it cocaine?
No.
Is it a drug?
No. It is a trying to think of the most PC way to say this. It is a women's I don't even know how to put this delicately. Just use your imagination. It's her juices are flowing, the watermelon sugar. You know what I mean? That's the best way to put that.
That was like the worst thing I could have ever heard.
I probably would have been better off just saying it, scientifically.
He also had that one song, Adore You, which I honestly liked a lot. And then you have T Swizzle, number 9, and then Pop Smoke, who passed away this year as well.
I don't know who that is either.
Pop Smoke died in a drive-by, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But so there's 2 artists on this list who have passed away recently, and that's Juice WRLD and Pop Smoke.
Is what's his name not on there? XXX Tentacion.
I thought he did a while ago.
He did a while ago.
But is he on the list?
No.
Because I mean, do you think that them passing has a little bit more to do with their popularity? Because I was trying to figure out who the hell T Swizzle was. I was like, I didn't want to ask and be stupid. Now I still feel stupid. Okay.
Anyway. I mean, that kind of happens quite a bit when an artist is kind of catching traction on their career and they're like starting to catch a lot of people's attention. Sometimes if they commit suicide or perish in other ways, their music, paintings, whatever kind of artistic medium they use, usually people get drawn to it more, I guess. They appreciate it more. Do you remember the artist Basquiat in New York? Okay.
No.
During the 90s, he was this artist. He had like this urban approach to art. I think his art form was like graffiti, abstract, stuff like that. I want to say he committed suicide, and all of a sudden he's this huge artist. Like one of his pieces cost thousands of dollars. So that's what you kind of see in the art world, if an artist, passes away. So it's the
Didn't
same thing with Van Gogh,
didn't Biggie have so? Because Life After Death, that was like pretty much done when he died, right? But it hadn't come out.
Right. I think I think you're right.
Was it called Life After Death? Like, is that what it was originally meant to be called?
I have no clue.
Because if not, imagine that. What are the odds that he names this album Life After Death? There's a song on it, right? Called You Ain't Nobody, you ain't nobody until you're dead or something like that. Like this, the odds of that are crazy. It's kind of like he foretold his own death right there.
Right. Yeah, totally.
How do you guys feel about, and I'm going to butcher this word, like, I don't even know how to say it, but like post-mortem songs. They feel a little weird to you guys, or do you think I have a weird feeling about those.
I mean, what? Who is the artist who had a song? I mean, shit, that could be anybody.
A lot of them, dude. Like Juice WRLD, who you just mentioned, he had a whole album come out a couple months after he passed away. Michael Jackson had that song that came out because he was going to go on tour. He has that song with Drake. I don't know. It's a little weird. It's a little like ominous listening to it, for me at least.
But what's the difference between listening to that and to someone who has died, but like, they made the music before they died,
See, and that if it's something that they'd finished and then, they were sitting on it and they release it, then it's a little, I guess it's fine. That's probably how it is in most cases. In my head, I'm always picturing like they hadn't finished production on as they're passing away, as someone else is taking it over and finishing it for them kind of deal. You know what I mean? Like that song with Michael Jackson and Drake. I like that song, but there's no way that, Michael Jackson knew what was going to come of the vocals and, you know what I mean? It's not like their vision. It's how I always kind of look at it. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. But that's just, I don't know.
So how do they rank the top 100?
I'm sure they base it off of general popularity. They see where everybody's kind of shifting to, what's getting played on the radio most, streams. They probably look at their streams like on Spotify, iTunes. They probably have access to that kind of data.
So it's objective then. It's not necessarily kind of like a subjective, well, we like this guy, or this person.
Exactly. Like Billboard's not like, oh, we like these guys, they're great. We like I think a lot of it is seeing what kind of the nation or internationally who's drawing the most popularity.
So it says that the Hot 100 is ranked by audio airplay audience impressions as measured by Nielsen, BDS, sales data compiled, and streaming activity provided by online music sources.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not objective. Were we saying it was or wasn't objective?
It wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not objective. I mean, so here are the top 10 songs that it was. So we got Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. That song was huge.
Makes sense, yeah.
Promoted that album as well in a whole. And
that was a huge TikTok song. We talked about that once. I guarantee that's one of the reasons why it was.
Yeah, I mean, The Weeknd had so much promotion on that new album. I mean, it was crazy. That was like the one. I mean, how many songs play on the radio off of that album? Like 3.
I just know that one. It's in 2K. It's like on TikTok. Like they hit a couple big markets. You know what I mean? I don't know any other albums or songs from that album. But sorry, continue. What was number 2?
Circles by Post Malone. How does that one go?
I couldn't do it off the top of my head. Hold on. If you give me a second, I could perform it.
I want to say it's kind of like a uplifting song, right? Kind of an acoustic Approach Me.
All his songs are, dude. They're all uplifting.
I don't know. I kind of refuse to listen to Post Malone, dude. I think
I
he's
know you do. That's surprising. I mean, I love Post Malone,
Mhm.
as I'm pretty sure it's well noted on this podcast, but that's not. I like that song, but it's not one of my favorite songs.
Mhm. Yeah. We have The Box by Roddy Ricch at number 3. Excuse me. We have at number 4, Don't Start Now by Dua Lipa. You ever heard that song?
I don't really know who Dua Lipa is. I hear the name,
Yeah.
but I don't know who that is.
I actually am a huge Dua Lipa fan. Huge. She's done a lot of work with Diplo. They got some good tracks together. Um, let's see, we got Rockstar by DaBaby featuring Roddy Ricch. We have Adore You, the song I was talking about, at number 6 by Harry Styles. We got Life is Good by Future featuring Drake at number 7. I like that song. You heard of that?
I don't think so.
No, it's pretty good. And then at number 8, we have Memories by Maroon 5. Never heard of it. Number 9.
You've had to have heard that song. That's such a huge song. Anyway, number 9.
Number 9, The Bones by Maren Morris. And number 10, Someone You Love by Louis Capaldi.
Hey, what was 7 again?
7 was Life is Good, Future featuring Drake.
I'm gonna cue it up.
So that makes no sense to me then. the discrepancy between the top songs and the top artists. Like you have Post Malone's number 1 artist, but his song, well, I guess he has probably like a grip of songs that are in like the top 100, I guess. But why would his song, how could his song be number 2, but he's the number 1 artist? I guess it is more of a collective thing.
Yeah, it's like all about data. Because I mean, people are probably listening to Post Malone and some of his older tracks from like a couple years ago or last year, and because they are streaming him the most times, his name, that's what's popping up.
So
But
this was of 2020?
out of 2020 songs, however, they're looking at the songs that came out in 2020. So he's probably the most played artist of this year, but the songs that came out this year, and they're looking at the songs that were played the most that came out this year. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I didn't know Circles came out this year. I thought it came out in 2019.
Or maybe they just like chalk it up to like,
Because that was from.
But I'm
Sorry.
wondering, like, could you have it to where, right, a song comes out in December 2019, but then it blows up throughout 2020? Like, that's still, like a popular song of 2020, but not necessarily from 2020, if that makes sense.
yeah, you make a valid point. I think that's how they do it, actually. I don't know.
Delving into the methodology of how they rank these would be really interesting because
Yeah.
I agree. It seems interesting that, no Post Malone songs are on there. Or...
Mhm.
Yeah, he didn't release a song this year.
Yeah, well, the number 1 act of 2020 is Hollywood's Bleeding by Post Malone. So
is that from 2020?
No, it came out in 2019 around like August or September.
Okay. So probably
So it's already been more than a year since that album came out.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
So what do you think is like a common factor in between these top 10 artists or top 10 songs? Like what is the common denominator that makes these, these artists and these songs so unbelievably popular?
Marketing. Yeah. I think
so it's not about the song itself or artist.
I don't think so because, I mean, I'm sorry, AJ, but Post Malone is one of the worst artists of our generation.
Dude, you are clinically an idiot. That's
what?
Come on, you're solely showing your bias right here. Like this guy is loved. He's got a great personality. He's a good performer. All his songs, you say they all sound the same. He's got a very unique voice, very different voice. And he's not like one of these, he looks like people like 6ix9ine, like with this, all these stupid freaking Lil Lil Xan, like those type of people. You know what I mean? Those type of artists with all their tattoos and their crazy face tats and all that stuff. But he's like, it seems like a genuinely good dude, and he's got genuinely good music. Like he's very marketable despite his look. He's like a very personable guy. He's not. I don't know. I'm sorry, you're pissing me off here, kid.
Look, let's talk about this. Let's have an argument about this because, yeah, he is very marketable, and his music, it garners to a crowd of kind of like our generation or younger. People who want to listen to his music and stream it all the time. But his music has no depth to it, man. It's
I disagree.
on the
I
surface.
disagree.
But dude,
What do you mean by it's all on the surface?
I think he just talks about anybody can make a song. You add
I
some
agree.
you add some effects to it, you add some like auto tune to it. I think he's a very talented person, and the way he's approached the music industry. I mean, he talks about general stuff, man.
Like what?
Heartbreak, best circle
Yeah.
song about heartbreak.
What does Drake talk about? What does he sing about?
Same thing, dude.
Everybody sings about that kind of stuff. You can't hold that against him. Everybody does.
Drake approaches the music industry the same way. He's very marketable. He's very huge, and same formula applies to him. The reason why I like Drake, I don't know, it's a bias.
It is. It is a bias.
It's the reason why I like Post Malone. But I guess the reason why I don't like Post Malone is like I just don't like his sound.
See, that's a biased thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To say that his music is all on the surface and he has no depth, I think that's kind of, I don't know, dude. I mean, all his songs are gonna be similar.
Do you think any of Post Malone's appeal and the fact that he was at number one, and according to Cade, he's not the greatest. According to AJ, he's really talented. Considering all of this, do you think that because he's white, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think his being white had anything to do with where he is on the Billboard standing?
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, that's just kind of how life is. But
I mean, Taylor Swift is, blonde white. She's always on the billboards. But Drake is of, mixed descent. He's half black, half white. Maybe some other stuff in there too. I want to say he's Jewish as well. I think. I could be totally wrong about that.
What are you basing that off of? His appearance?
The thing is, I think Wikipedia, I saw that. But the thing is, Lil Wayne dominated the charts in when we were in what, middle school? And he's from the streets. So
that's the thing. I said maybe. Yeah. I take that back. I don't think his ethnicity or anything has to do with where he's at. I think he's a genuinely talented guy, performer, singer, whatever you want to call it. I think that's why he's there. I'm sorry that you're so blind, kid.
See, if I would have picked the guy to take the number one spot this year, it would have been Harry Styles, no doubt. I'm actually a huge Harry Styles fan. And I'm not ashamed to admit that. I think Adore You was a great song.
I don't know if I've heard that one. How'd you feel about his Vogue photo shoot? You guys want to talk about that?
Yeah, he was in a dress, right? He was in a blouse.
Yeah, he wore a dress. Did you see that, Stepan?
No, I did not. It's Harry Styles' Vogue.
Yeah, I think he was the first male to ever be on the cover of Vogue, if I'm not mistaken. But he dressed up in a dress for his photo shoot. And people ripped on him.
Yeah, I think that was brave of him, to be honest with you.
Wait, why did they go after him?
Because they're saying it wasn't manly.
I think men should be in touch with their feminine side.
Wait, it's 2020. Are people still saying that?
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a lot of people that were giving him shit about.
Are those the same people that are listening to Harry Styles, though?
No, definitely not.
So what's the point?
I don't know. I don't know why it sparked so much outrage, but this isn't the first time he's done something like that. He showed up to that Met Gala Was it 2019? Couldn't have been 2020. In 2019, wearing a dress. Dude's always got his nails painted. Like he's always got that dangly earring on the left side. He does. He does that. It looks good, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But no, dude, people are. This was like a big deal, and I don't know why. And they were just saying like it's not manly to be wearing dresses and skirts and stuff like that. And you go look up people from the 1800s and what were they wearing? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's just stupid.
I mean, yeah, people of royalty used to like, cake on makeup, throw on a wig. They used to have they used to wear high heels too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. See, we need to bring that back. I think that's a cool look.
Our current president cakes on makeup. Right? Dude needs to learn how to blend a little bit better.
Yeah, dude.
But no, it was just stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it. He's put out a couple good songs, but in my opinion, I don't think he's ever going to be able to be. I might just sound stupid saying this, but he is One Direction. You know what I mean? That's always going to follow him. That's always going to be like, when's the One Direction reunion? When they're getting back together?
He's done pretty good on his own though, right?
He has, and so has that Zayn guy, Zayn, whatever his name is.
So are they the only 2 out of the 5 to kind of do solo careers?
I couldn't even tell you the other guy's names.
Okay. I know everything about this. I'm not saying I'm a One Direction fan. I'm a Harry Styles fan.
You got One Direction infection, right?
Once I get invested in an artist and kind of their craft and how they approach things, I start doing research. Like I look into everything, and it kind of branches. When you get really high, and everything, your mind's just going off into like these different circuits, and you're like, "What about this? What about that?" That's how I get with music. I have to know every little thing about it. So, Harry Styles as a solo artist, bigger than One Direction has ever gotten. He is.
No way.
Yeah, I swear to God. In terms of sales, in terms of quality of music, like Harry Styles did himself a favor branching away from the group. I think the guy right below him is going to be Zayn. And then I think the third guy is Neil. I think that's how you say his name. Niall. And then there's 2 guys who are just like random dudes who are below him. Yeah. So
Lewis, Liam.
Yeah, I don't know those guys. I don't know their names, but Harry Styles, he's huge, man.
They're all English, right?
He's like they're English. He's the Justin Timberlake of his group. Who's Justin Timberlake?
Okay. Of his group. I thought you were gonna say he's the Justin Timberlake of our time.
Well, he kind of is. I mean, if you look at it from a boy band perspective, in the 2010s, and now he's going to take over the 2020s or the 20s, he is going to be the JT of that generation.
I feel like BTS is now the boy band.
That's very true. But I couldn't name any of their members. Like even when One Direction was huge, I could name Harry Styles, Zayn.
I think, and this is just like from anecdotal evidence, I don't know like the numbers or anything, but it seems to me that BTS has much more worldwide appeal than someone like 1D or like, what was Timberlake's group?
NSYNC.
Yeah. And when I was in Ukraine, every single middle school girl there was just obsessed with BTS. Like it was like I had never seen anything like it, and I didn't even know who BTS was at the time. Like they had the stickers, the buttons, all the songs, all the like the, just everything. I was blown away. Like I'd never heard of them, and these girls were just patently obsessed with them.
Yeah. BTS is huge. I only know one of their guys' names, Jimin. There's this YouTuber that like, he's an American YouTuber, or he might be of some other ethnicity, but he's not Korean, right? And this guy has spent so much money getting plastic surgery to try to look like him.
Oh shit!
watch. I want to look it up so I could show you guys. His name is God. What's his name? I can't find his name. I'll figure it out for you. Because, dude, this guy is like, it sounds horrible, but he's disgusting. He's paid like hundreds of thousands of dollars to just to try to look like this guy.
Wow.
And it's kind of creepy. He's like a YouTuber. He has like cutout boards in his room of that guy. Kisses it. He's supposedly like married to the cardboard cutout. It's fucking weird. But if you're not hurting anybody, right?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those. There's like a reality TV show about people who get these drastic cosmetic changes to them. Like there was a woman in Eastern Europe who was trying to look like Barbie. So they removed her ribs to like shrink her waist.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? I mean, plastic surgery to the face where it looked like plastic, like it looked like a doll. Enhanced her bosom and all that other stuff. So it was crazy. So
Sorry, this guy's name is Ollie London. If you guys want to look him up, he's
the one who's
he's the one who's trying to look like the guy from BTS. Looks nothing like him at all.
Wikipedia says he's a musical artist.
He does his own music. He does like K-pop music.
Ah.
It's not good.
Oh, wow.
He was on Dr. Phil, I think. Anytime somebody gets like plastic surgery like that to look like somebody else. I remember a story of this person who did it to look like Justin Bieber. It was like this 40-year-old dude. I just think that's so disturbing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there's do you guys remember it was on I think like the E channel, the entertainment channel, but it was huge on social media. This guy was trying to make himself look like a cat. So he had like permanent contact lenses that looked like a cat. He had like huge nails. They like changed his nose too. It was like a snout.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The guy I was just telling you about, the one that did the surgery to look like Justin Bieber. I was trying to find his name. He died.
Oh, Jesus. Because of the surgeries or?
No, I thought it was the same thing too. Apparently multiple drug intoxication
Oof.
is what it is.
Well, they're probably on painkillers majority of
Oh.
the time.
No kidding.
I take back
Considering
what
all
I
the
said.
surgeries.
You guys ever watch that show Botched?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I hate that show so
Why?
much. Because, dude, it's just these people. I have a weird thing about plastic surgery to begin with. I think it's stupid and unnecessary. You know, if people want to look how they want to look, that's fine. If you're not hurting anybody, but I mean, there's so many instances of people getting stuff and just not turning out the way that they want it. And like you see so many celebrities that like overdo it. Like Mickey Rourke. Do you guys know who that is?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just I have a weird thing with plastic surgery. Like I feel so bad for those kind of people. You know what I mean? But if that's what they want to do with their money, and it's so expensive too, it's ridiculous how much plastic surgery is.
You feel like you shouldn't change the image that.
No, that's not why I don't like it. I just think it's a waste of money. And I think more often than not, it doesn't turn out the way that people want it.
I was going to get some plastic surgery to look more like Cade.
Don't do it. That's a waste of money.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, God, what is that thing that you learn in like if you go to Catholic school? I mean, you guys both went to Catholic school, but like to not get tattoos because your body's a temple. You should treat your body.
Is there a word for it?
Yeah, I don't know what you're asking.
But that's what I'm thinking. Like,
yeah, it's looked down upon.
I didn't come from a religious background, but I know you guys went to Catholic school, so I can only imagine what they taught you about like getting tattoos or getting cosmetic changes to your body.
I don't remember. Did you remember any of the teachers saying anything?
Yeah, you can't do it. You couldn't go to Pies if you have a tattoo.
I had a tattoo. I got one my senior year.
Where though? Was it visible?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, like you couldn't be walking around with like a tattoo on your arm or something like that. I think they were even weird about piercings. I remember they were weird about piercings in your ears for the girls. Like you couldn't have like too many. They were weird about hairstyles. I used to have hair, long hair. It was shorter than yours, Cade, and they made me cut it when I was in middle school, not at Pius.
If I were a parent and they told me, hey, your kid's hair is too long, your daughter has too many earrings in, I would say, what the fuck? Like that's such bullshit.
Okay, so Sydney had told me that I guess a girl in her class got pregnant and she ended up getting kicked out.
Yeah, I believe it.
Because she was pregnant?
Yeah, but
That's horrible.
there's some hypocrisy to it. So what happens if it was kind of like a Mary Joseph situation? God, think about this. I'm being serious. God, I don't know, put the baby inside her, like in a some kind of mystical way, magic. I don't know, and she was bearing the life of the next Messiah, and they kicked her out, dude.
You would have gotten kicked out just for saying stuff like this, kid.
So
Come on, though. Like that's like one of the biggest things religion has going for itself that they teach. Like you're supposed to wait for marriage.
yeah.
That's like a huge thing. They can't have.
How the fuck is that pro-life to kick out someone who got pregnant? Like, what kind of message does that send?
They kicked out 2 people.
It's
Anyway,
true.
I have another. Here's another argument. So let's say your junior senior year, you get a tattoo. You're at Catholic school, but on your back you get only God can judge me, or Jesus saves on your arm, or something like that, or a cross. Like I know my little brother has a Bible quote. So if they see that, even though you're like representing, you're done, you're kicked out.
You're gone, dude. Barbara would have kicked your ass out.
Jeez,
Fucking
man.
Barbara. Am I wrong, Stepan?
And oh my, so right. When you look back at it and you look at how strict they were, and they would make the girls put their hands down, and if it was like if their fingertips were past their skirt, they had to go change or something like that. Like, I mean, that's absurd. I mean, how strict they were was crazy.
I was telling somebody about this a couple of weeks ago that we had to wear their branded shirts, polos,
Everything,
sweaters
sweatshirts by the end, yeah.
Yeah. So I remember like one time my freshman year, I just had like it was a plain black sweater. It was like the middle of December. It was colder than shit. And they made me take it off. And it was in like those back portables where it was cold, not in like the actual building. I was so pissed, dude.
That's
I had
absurd.
a teacher who would make us, even if we were wearing a sweater, he'd make us pick up our sweaters to show our waistline to make sure our shirts were tucked in. And we had to wear lanyards that had our student IDs, and he would come around and look at everybody's student ID to make sure you had your actual ID. And if you lost it, you had to go buy another one. You couldn't even just go get one. Like,
that's so totalitarian. Like that's absurd.
They make you into robots, man. They make
I got
that as well,
I got in trouble one time for wearing I forgot if it was white or black, but I got in trouble for wearing socks. So they called my mom and told her she had to come bring me socks.
See, and as a parent,
So
I would
my
say
mom-
no. That's ridiculous.
And my mom came and picked me up. She's like, well, he doesn't have socks, so he's going home.
Nice.
But I mean, then you get scrutinized, and then you, as a kid, because I was in middle school at that time, I felt like shit going into class the next day. You know what I mean? The teachers look down on that kind of
That's
stuff.
so shitty.
They take it out on you.
I remember one time my junior year, I was in AP Lit, and we went in one day and we were talking. I think we were talking about The Tempest, Shakespeare, and the whole class was just kind of in a torpor. Like everyone was just quiet. We didn't really say anything. So she yells at us, and she's like, "You guys need to have your shit together, basically tomorrow." So right before the class the next day, I'm in the bathroom looking up Shakespeare quotes. One of the government teachers in that same building is in the bathroom, sees me on my phone looking up Shakespeare quotes in the bathroom, and takes my phone away.
What was the process to get it back?
Well, actually, I didn't even let him. He was like, "Give me your phone." I was like, "No, I'm not going to give it to you." So he took me to I think it was the dean of students' office, and the dean and I sat there for like hours. I was like, "Dude, I'm not going to give you my phone." And that's one of those moments when you realize like they don't actually have that control over you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a facade. And I eventually gave it up, and I lost my phone for the entire semester. It was ridiculous.
So Stepan, so they didn't get your phone? You just kind of refused to give it to them?
No, I gave it up eventually after sitting there for like, I don't know, it was a long time, and eventually I gave it up, and that was the second strike for my phone. So
Did you get it back right away?
No,
Or-
I gave it up for the rest of the semester.
What the
Isn't that,
shit?
isn't that
No.
crazy? Yeah. Hey, hold on one sec. Sorry.
Cade, you went to a pretty strict school. Do you have any? I know you got in trouble a lot. Were they strict about shit like that too?
So I went to the New Mexico Military Institute when I was in New Mexico. It costs a lot of money to go there.
Of course.
On top of paying tuition, you have to pay for your uniform. And on top of that, you have to pay for room and board. It was a school that drained your funds, right?
Was it funded by the state?
I don't know. Actually, it's actually older than the state of New Mexico itself. It was established in 1898. New Mexico became a state 1912. Yeah. So it was it was a very prestigious military academy, and then it turned into a junior college. It used to be an officers academy, then it became a junior college, then it became a high school. So you can go there for 6 years. Like my little brother went there for 6 years, which I don't know how he did that.
Are they weird about tattoos and stuff too? There?
No, they're a little bit more lenient, especially when it comes to, because you can go there to fast track yourself becoming an officer in the Navy, the Marines, the Army, the Coast Guard, and some of those guys who came in to try to be officers had tattoos and stuff.
Yeah, that's a little more normal. If you were to get pregnant, would they kick you out? Or is it just guys?
No, it's girls too. Yeah.
Why are you laughing, man?
A whole nother. But,
so would they have kicked her out, her and her child?
Oh, 100%. But religion's not a huge religion is very it wasn't a huge thing there. They accepted all religions.
So what's the basis of kicking somebody out for being pregnant then? Because like religion, like where we went, I could understand that. Your place, I don't understand that as much.
Well, I think the thing was you're not supposed to have sex. That was it. Like so at the dorms there, it was a box. So the dorms, we had two kind of like dormitories. One was the box. It was like a square, and that's where I lived. And then you had the other one, which was by the football field, and that was called the slab. It was like a little L. The slab was where it's at, because no one gave a shit about that. But in the box, everybody could see you. So anyway, they had a whole bunch of anonymity, right? So if you got caught masturbating, you wear a white glove the whole day.
Shut the
fucking
fuck
kidding
up.
me. You're kidding.
These were, legends in this. I mean, the school's over.
What?
Right? But you had to wear a white glove and you had to march with it all like this or something.
I don't believe you.
I swear to God.
There's no way that's possible.
Wait. What do you mean get caught? By whom?
So at night, we had the night watch. Flashlights, right? And they would go to your room because bedtime was at 11. Like seriously, it's a bedtime, dude. You had 3 hours to do your homework. And after each hour, you have like a little 5-minute break where you can go to the restroom. Like if you had to go to the restroom during homework hours, you got like yelled at. You had to go during break. So
That's insane.
This sounds worse than what we put up with, honestly.
Way worse.
dude, it was awful, man. I mean, you go there and when you graduate, you like when people see Nimi that you went to Nimi, there's
You're
like
respected.
respected. There's a whole fraternity of guys. Like even my older
Oh,
brother who went to Nimi, he got his first football coaching job because the head coach went to Nimi.
No way. Wow.
same thing kind of goes for us, Stepan, wouldn't you say?
Oh, totally.
That's the one thing I like, being able to say is why I went there, because people are like, oh, I
Yeah, so,
guess it sucks, but sure.
yeah. So when you
Man,
How was the food there, Cade? What were lunches like?
it was awful.
Are
Fall.
we talking like UNM? What's that place called?
sub.
No,
No.
not the sub.
Yeah, Lapo.
Lapo.
No, it was like 10 times worse.
Dude, I snuck in there so much my freshman year. That was like the cool thing to do from, I don't know why. Did you
Yeah.
guys ever live on campus, either of you?
I did my freshman year. I had to because of a scholarship.
Did you eat, you had to eat at Lapo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot the process. We'd have somebody distract, somebody would go in, go all the way up, go down. I thought it was so cool. I look back at it, dude. That food wasn't even that good. It wasn't even worth it.
No, it's all right.
It was free food though, I guess.
That's awesome. That shit was expensive if you just wanted to go in for
Oh,
like
fuck
a
yeah.
lunch or some shit.
Yeah, it was like $15 or maybe even more.
Mhm.
It was probably more. You know what? It was good. I take it back. The food was awesome. I have good memories sneaking in there.
Back on Mini. So once women started being able to go to college there, I think like in the 50s or the 60s, maybe even later than that, there was a kind of a myth started that if you were a woman and you got caught masturbating, you had to hold a highlighter up. It was like the same as the white glove, but it was a highlighter. Isn't that crazy?
That seems so much harder because you have to hold like you're like using your muscles for this. When you have a white glove, you have a white glove on. You know what I mean?
Why would they not have to wear a white glove as well?
I don't know. I think it was like because you can. I don't know. I don't want to go into the details of why I think it's
Yeah, I don't.
but you know what I mean. So yeah, it was crazy.
So what's the point of this? What's the point of policing every moment of were you guys called cadets? I just assume that. What's the point of policing every moment of a cadet's life for what? I don't know. However many years.
I don't know, man. It's just like to become a structured individual, learning responsibility. I mean, it was bullshit. I don't know. I got kicked out in a semester and a half. So,
In my opinion, stuff like that we all had to deal with at our schools, that doesn't teach people responsibility. It makes people, it like bottles people up, and once they're like away from that, it makes them want to
Totally.
go wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that doesn't teach people discipline, doesn't teach.
Not at all.
Exactly. That's such a bad. And like I understand structure, but like if it's so arbitrary to where you're wearing a hoodie and somebody makes, they make you pull up your sweater, to make sure your shirt is tucked in. That's completely fucking arbitrary. That's such bullshit.
Yeah.
That's not treating young adults like young adults at all.
you'd always get those weird kids at your school too who were so bought into it, who were bought into that system that they were so wide-eyed and they kept their mouths shut.
Like they would tattletale on you if your shirt wasn't tucked in,
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff.
I had one kid at Mini who was he had a position of power, and he was a year older than me. And there's this huge thing where you couldn't just walk the railing; you had to go out the railing, march, then go to the spot. Weird. I don't know how to explain it, but he would catch me crossing the railing every time. So what he would do was he would mark me down for Thursday morning PT. You wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you do bear crawls and you run and you do fucking all these drills, dude, at like the break of dawn. It was the fucking worst in the freezing cold.
I can't see you doing any of that.
Dude, There were sometimes I didn't, and I would get even penalized even more. I'd get more demerit. Yeah, so I dug myself such a hole there that I just stopped caring. And I would remember during the PT times when I did go, his name was General Geraci, and he was this old Army general who was the kind of the president of the school. So he'd be on his morning jog, and I remember one kid going, "Good morning, General Geraci." He's like, "I hope you boys are learning your lesson out here. Teach you how to behave." Dude, he's like, oh man, it was the worst.
Was his name Richard?
Richard
Was he,
Geraci, I think.
was he a bald guy?
Yeah.
Found him. I found his ass.
Yeah, and I went to school with his son.
Fuck this guy.
His son just had that 1,000-mile stare. Like, this is it, dude.
That shit to me it seems Orwellian. You're just like basically trying to suppress these people, like the base desires of humans and just trying to like control every single tiny little thing.
Mhm.
For what? I don't. I would like to talk to like an army or like somebody in the armed forces, because I'm sure there's an idea behind it. I just don't get what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've
especially for
seen it.
people that young.
Yeah, exactly. For people that young, especially when it comes to stuff like, trying to suppress, how do I put this without sounding weird? Like the sexual stuff. When you're doing it at that young of an age and like that harsh of consequences, like, okay, you get caught. That's already embarrassing enough, but now everybody else knows that you got caught.
You're making
You know what I
sex a taboo. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's either it'll mess people up like that, especially
so
when they're
unhealthy.
young. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Too is like one of the worst.
Richard Geraci, we're gonna get his ass on the next podcast. We got some
Hey,
words for him.
Hey, Guerrero, remember me? Had to go to your office a couple of times. Let us know. Yeah. It's a good dude. Yeah.
Oh, I thought we didn't like him. My
Yeah,
bad.
he's a total dick.
Oh,
Dick is in his name. Yeah. So I think another thing too is that obviously, our parents wanted us to have a good education. New Mexico is second to last in public education. We're right ahead of Mississippi. But the thing is like, I don't know. For me, NIMI was the only option. We didn't have any other private schools in Roswell.
Down south, yeah.
You guys had what? There's St. Pius, there's Academy.
Academy is like $20,000 a semester.
So expensive.
A year, not a semester. Academy is more. I think Pius is more expensive than UNM as well.
Bosque was the most expensive, I think.
Sandia Prep was up there too.
Oh, I forgot about Sandia Prep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
isn't that shitty? If you want a good education, you got to pay out the ass.
Yeah.
Alabama's below us, by the way.
Of
course. Come on.
Yeah, but I think they wanted the best for us, but at the same time, at least it taught us. I think all three of us can take away something from private school, and that's just breaking through that wall of realization and saying like, why does this person seem to have my life in their hands and can control every step I take? Shouldn't be like that. Because, I think when you go to public school, you really have control of everything. I mean, I graduated from public school, and I mean, dude, public high school, dude, that's where it's fucking at. So lenient, so chill. Do whatever the fuck you want, to be honest with you. But
I wouldn't have done well in that environment.
Yeah, if I didn't go to NIMI, I wouldn't have learned a lot about myself. I definitely don't like high and tights.
My older brother went to public school and he didn't graduate, so like that right then and there was not an option for me. But like I said, I like the local high school that I would have went to would have been Cibola, and I think they're like the class I would have graduated in had like almost 900 students just in that class. Wow. I would not have done well in that environment.
Yeah, Cibola,
it kind of sucks being in the smaller school.
Used to be an old.
What was
prison.
that? Really? Cibola?
Yeah.
Used to be what?
The campus?
Yeah, prison. Yeah.
What?
I don't know about that.
Brian told me. Brian graduated from Cibola.
From Cibola
I
Prison
typed
or
in
from
was
Cibola
Cibola
High
High
School?
School and
Wait, what?
no, you're
Sorry.
Well, high school.
No, I was wondering if he graduated from Cibola Prison or Cibola High School.
Is there Cibola prison?
No.
okay, kid.
Hey, I'm just asking.
Kid.
I don't know, man.
Okay, let me read you a little excerpt.
Okay.
Cibola High School opened its doors in the fall of 1975 as the 10th comprehensive high school in Albuquerque Public Schools. Contrary to urban legend, Cibola High School was never designed to be a women's prison.
Oh.
They
That's some
got you.
shit that like a sophomore would make up because he got detention.
Thank you, AJ, for looking that up. Too bad our production assistant isn't here tonight.
Yes. But you know what though? Because Cibola is actually a generally nice campus, and that's still somewhat of a new area of town. So I didn't believe your ass for a second.
But anyway, continue your story about how the class is too big.
No, I just wouldn't have done well. I know sometimes it sucks, like knowing everybody and knowing everybody's business, but I actually like that. If I'd have had classes with people whose names I didn't even know, that I would have hated that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to do that.
I thought, for all the shit that I talk and all, the gripes that I have about our high school, I thought the education was honestly really good.
No, it was. It was to the point, and I always tell people that it made college too easy for me, and it kind of put me in a hole because like my first 2 years of college were a fucking breeze.
Mhm.
Like I didn't even have to try, and I got in that mindset, and I got in that routine of not having to try. Like once like it hit me like a fucking truck. Like, you know what I mean? And it really set me behind. And with Pius too, the only thing that I didn't like is they really hold your hand a lot, especially in terms of like you knew when stuff was going to be due. You know what I mean? Like they would hammer in your head, okay, you got this due tomorrow. We got this test coming up Tuesday or whatever. At college, they just tell you one time, and that's kind of it sometimes. And I struggle with that a lot. So I wish they would have given us a little more leniency. But again, that's all stuff that's my own fault. You know what I mean? It's not no one else to blame. But I agree, the education was good. It was worth it. I wouldn't have wanted it any other way, to be honest with you.
So that's the thing with public school and private school. So when I was going to NIMI, I was learning about Greek mythology, philosophy. I mean, I learned so much about art and literature there. Math and science was never my strong suit, so I never really gave a shit about that. But once you go to public school, right after going to private school, I mean, the curriculum is dumbed down so much, and you see some of the students there kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of sad.
Say it.
So, okay, let me tell you something. My senior year, and you guys know how bad I am with math. I had to take statistics, right? I had this teacher who did not give a shit at all. Like he hated teaching, he didn't want to be there. He had these temper tantrums all the time. But on my test and my homework, I would write down random numbers, and I would get an A all the time. That's public school for you, dude. That is public school. And then I had to take statistics in college. Failed the first time.
Did you try doing the same thing? Did you try that again?
For a couple of assignments, it didn't work out that well. But I thought my luck would transfer over. But here's the crazy thing about university, because I passed a lot of classes on luck, is the second time I took stats in the summer to credit, is because at UNM we all had to take stats. Stepan, you had to take stats, right?
No, I tested out. I didn't have to do any math during college.
I don't mean to sound pompous, but I tested out as well.
Okay, yeah, I'm off math. I did remedial math twice. That's how bad I am. So the second time I took stats, It was online. We had to go and for a final exam in Dane Smith. I didn't go. I didn't take the last exam because I thought it was over. Like I failed it. I'm gonna have to take it over again. I'll look at my grade. It was an A plus. Isn't that crazy?
Whoa.
Yeah, dude. I passed both stats in high school and college, like on pure, dude. So,
Yeah. So
here's to the university, the U.S. university system. Thank you.
So I have a homegirl who she's from Boston, and she went to a high school that was essentially a public high school that was a feeder to Harvard.
Mhm.
Like the top kids, it was basically, they just got like cherry picked by Harvard. So like it's crazy.
That happens. Yeah, I'm not trying. Yeah, I don't think any of us mean to shit talk public school by any means, because that happens. Yeah, I know some people that went to our school that are fucking idiots. And I'm just trying to think of a nicer way to put it, but you know what I'm saying? Like that's just it's how it is, dude. It's all your own sometimes.
Yeah, it's about how you apply yourself.
Exactly, kid. Well put. As you take a swig.
I hustled in college to get that. In all my like journalism classes and my English classes, I always do fairly good. Like I just know how to work that. I know how to write a paper. But my political science classes, dude, fuck, man,
Gabe.
dude.
We'd be playing fucking games in the back of the class. That's why.
Oh yeah, that was our fault though, AJ. Like we'd be playing Pokemon.
Well, yeah.
National study, or what was that class? International relations.
International politics.
International politics. Yeah. Playing
And we both did well. Remember? Didn't we? We both.
barely, dude.
Yeah. No. That was. Yeah. Well, gentlemen, this is a good episode.
Good time to adjourn.
Yeah, definitely. I will go ahead and say we're launching a La Tonique kind of merchandise store. Nothing crazy, but we're gonna start selling little things like right now we got hats. We're gonna be adding t-shirts, shorts, joggers, like all kinds of hoodies, a bunch of different stuff just to rep the company a little bit. Might be rolling out some Airport Road podcast stuff too. Just little stuff like that. So check it out. It'll be at the bottom of the website on every page. See if there's anything there you like. Cade, what about Avid Apparel?
No, ABXD. Where to begin? Legendary clothing shop. Based out of Albuquerque. Shout out to our boy Jake Navarez. Catch him on the next episode, hopefully. But go follow him on go follow his apparel line at avxd.apparel on Instagram and also the website. But that concludes this episode. So thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much, Stepan.
Thanks for having me, as always.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Subscribe to our newsletter, subscribe to YouTube, and follow us on our socials. And that's it. We're out. Peace.
See you guys.